crazy characteristics. I mean, on the plus side, people worked for church businesses, didn't get paid. I don't think that's legal technically, but you know, life went on. One of the businesses was actually importing fish for sushi restaurants starting in like the 80s. So I liked sushi before it was a trendy white girl thing, which was pretty cool. I mean, that was a fringe benefit. And you know, I realized though, after a while, like growing up in a cult, and like as you get older, you have to question all your beliefs. And then I realized, like, dude, everything is a cult, right? Everybody, it's gotten really quiet in here. Dude, no, everything is. Everybody has crazy beliefs that they subscribe to and invest money in, and crazy people that they believe in, you know, that they probably shouldn't. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say hypothetically, there was a major political party that was running a candidate who was like clinically dead. But all like the major figures told you he was like as sharp as he ever was, and everybody believed it, right? That's crazy. That's because it's a cult. You know, there's a cult of CNN, there's a cult of Fox News. Dude, like a guy that is on his third husband and, you know, had sex with a hooker and paid money to cover it up should represent Christianity. That's a cult too, right? Dude, I hate that now I can't type the word stormy in my phone without the phone capitalizing it. Dude, that kind of sucks. And yeah, so growing up in this cult, one of the biggest things was like, you should not have sex before marriage. You cannot have sex before marriage. Like, you will be the worst person, you'll go to hell, the world will end. Right? Because they believe that Adam and Eve had sex before they got married or got God's blood. I don't know, they didn't have wedding chapels back then, but like, and then that was a disaster, and everything after that was a disaster, right? And so you should not have sex before marriage, whatever you do. So I believe that, you know, I believe that. I was like, all right, like I'm down for the count. And I hope my ex-wife appreciates how few miles were on this thing when I turned it over to her. Yeah, they would say like, your genitalia belongs to your future spouse. Like, so you have to not screw up, right? I barely took that thing out of the garage before I turned it over. I mean, I may have driven around the parking lot like a handful of times just to make sure the engine would still turn over. All right, like two handfuls, it was fine. No, it was wild. But then it really sucked when I found myself, you know, getting divorced at age 39, right? My whole goal was like, get married, have awesome sex with the same person. I mean, that goal kind of fell off the rails a little bit. But stay married to the same person your whole life, I thought that was going to be awesome. That was like the thing that I was supposed to do. So I feel a little bad. I've never said this on stage. I've never said this to anybody. There was this one night we were on vacation with our kids, and it was like when we were like full-scale tilt going down the hill into divorce. Shit was bad. And she would yell at me for like hours at night about all the shit I've ever done wrong. And women have really good memories. And like, I've never cheated, I wasn't, you know, I never did drugs, like didn't gamble, whatever. I didn't, all the cardinal sins I didn't do. So she had to really like reach into the index to pull some shit out. I mean, to be fair, I spent the first 12 years of marriage thinking, how do I look in this dress was an invitation for constructive criticism. So like, shit was pretty dark for her too. So I'm not hating on her. And yeah, it felt so awful. And I want to be clear, like I'm not blaming her. Like she had her childhood stuff. It turns out growing up in a cult does not always make you emotionally healthy as a person. Yeah, plot spoiler on that. So like she had her stuff and I had my stuff. It was like mixing a nuclear waste dump with like a naval artillery practice range. Like I could hit the mark perfectly every time. It was a mess. So I want to be clear, I'm not blaming her. But yeah, she was like ripping into me. It was a pretty rough vacation. We were at Rice Lake, this big lake in Canada. And there was this one night where I was just sitting out. They were all having fun in the house. My friends were there. My friend's family was there. I was sitting on this dock with a couple of Guinnesses, my favorite beer. And I seriously thought, I had the thought, I'm not proud of this. I had the thought, like, what if I just down these Guinnesses and just start swimming until I can't swim anymore? Yeah. I didn't think that was the response I was going to get, but okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess nobody has joked about suicide by Guinness on stage before, so I'm going to ask the craziest crowd work question I've ever asked in my whole 4 years of doing comedy. How many people have been in that dark place before? Whoa. Holy, who knew? Yeah.
It's fucking Binghamton, bro.
Dude, who knew people in Binghamton that like stand-up comedy in bars are prone to depression? Couldn't have seen that coming. Well, I will just say right now, thank you for not doing that.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you for not doing that. Yeah, because this bar would have like $300 less right now. No, seriously, and if you tried it in the past, I'm glad you sucked at it. Let's leave that in the past. Leave that in the past. The world is better for you being here, right? Yeah, for real.
He doesn't know all of you.
For those of you at the beer pyramid in the back, he said, I don't know all of you. Be that as it may. Be that as it may. Yeah, I'm glad. And, and then, like, the thought came to me. I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to ruin my kids' lives. My ex-wife, that would be a silver lining on the crowd. But, yeah, I can't ruin my kids' lives. I can't do that. And then I felt like a piece of shit for even thinking it, of how much it would have ruined my kids' lives, right? And then they would have been more at risk for doing that. So I was like, oh, damn it. But then I had a thought that actually made me happy and gave me hope. And that was like, for the previous 15 years, I had been working out a lot, like probably average 1 hour a day. So 365 hours a year. To like make this as awesome as it can be, which some of you are still not impressed with, but fuck you. Apparently the chicks on the dating apps neither. So, but I was like, dude, 365 times 15 years. That's like 475. Yeah, there we go. I'm a couple Guinnesses in, all right? Bear with me, people. So yeah, 5,475, I think. So if you multiply that, like my hourly rate now and the hourly rate 15 years ago, let's just multiply it by even $100 an hour, right? That's like $547,500, right? And if my math is off, I'm a couple Guinnesses in. But that is the right number, $547,500, which coincidentally is the price of a new Ferrari SF90, right? And nobody buys a Ferrari SF90 to roll it into a fucking lake. And like, you know what? She might not want this, but there's got to be somewhere out there where somebody wants this Ferrari and knows what to do with an 8-inch stick shifter. Right? And if that's the thought that occurs to you when you are suicidal, probably you're on the spectrum. And your number is somewhere between 10 and 15. All right, thank you, Binghamton. Thank you so much. My name is Mike Stewart. You can find me online at MS is Funny. Those are my initials. I'm not a dickhead if you have MS. I give money to MS. So when I make a lot of money at comedy, I'll get a t-shirt from them or something. So thank you very much. Have a great night. Love you guys.